loved it so much. So much. I didn't want to leave. I dreamed up this ideal scenario in my life in which I could live here probably 3 weeks. Like I could literally commute to the East Coast for 1 week out of the month. Like in my best case scenario, I would do what I'm doing here. And then I would have 1 week in New York City every month where I could just experience that pace, that stimulus, those people, the subways. I really love the subways. It's good. I went on a couple dates.
Oh,
that was weird.
App?
Yes.
Okay.
The moment I was on Bumble. And the moment I rolled into New York City on the train, it was blowing up. It's like, you got 64 people who just swiped right or whatever.
Of course, population density.
Yes.
Too. Right.
And, there's just somebody new. So I had a couple, but I was, again, hanging out with my girlfriend. So I never took a date over hanging out with her. It was always when she had something to do.
Sure.
And luckily, because there were 68 people
that
there.
Motherfucking guy is like.
Yeah. Well, none of them were my type.
Okay.
It's very, like I said, my superpowers were gone. So one interesting date you will appreciate. I don't know why you would in particularly appreciate this, but
okay.
This guy, so we connected on the app. It happened to be an evening in which she was going to do something. So, and also, side note, for all the dudes out there who are on the app,
are these Bumble dudes?
Yeah. What the fuck? Why do we have to text for 3 days before you you either want to just meet me for coffee or take me out or not, and which is totally fine as well. But don't make me go through 6 days of texting.
Were you thumb cramping?
Then no, it's just if you're free, say, hey, let's hook up for coffee, whatever. Anyway, side note. So this guy,
yeah, but who wants to be out that $2?
Fuck off.
Texting's free.
Texting's boring after a while. Alex, this guy's name was Alex. I'm not even going to say we're going to call him Alex. His real name is Alex.
Okay.
As far as I know.
We won't use real names, Alex.
We met in, so obviously in Manhattan, the rooftop bars are a thing, right? So all these wonderful hotels.
Tell me, is it a thing?
All these fancy hotels, and they have these beautiful rooftop bars, and that's the great place to go for a drink. So I met him at one of these bars.
Not for the depressed, it's not.
Well, yeah, maybe. We had one drink. Immediately I knew this is definitely not going to be a thing, but I also didn't have anything better to do. And I was,
right.
It wasn't he was obnoxious, but he was kind of obnoxious, but I was whatever, I'm out. I may as well just enjoy the evening. We had 2 drinks at this rooftop bar. And by the second drink, I was like, oh geez, now what?
What was the name of the bar?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't remember.
That great?
But what I do remember is across the street, there was a bar called Havana. Right? Right? You
Your light bulb goes on.
Yeah. Before we got to the hotel.
So you took Alex to Havana, and in the meantime,
nope. You got to shut your trap so you can hear the story.
No, but I could totally
see
you dragging
me.
Yeah, right.
If I want to go to Havana.
Okay.
And he's like, I know the owner. So it's right across the street from where we were. And I'm like, all right, fine. And in my head, I'm like, you have no idea what you're just walking into.
So you're using
right?
this guy for bait.
Yes,
basically.
Pretty much. Because at this point, I realized he's a douche anyway. So I'm like, may as well go to Havana and look at some pretty people.
All right.
So we walk into the bar, and he goes, where he had given me the whole, I know the owner and all that crap.
Oh yeah.
So we walk in, the guy who, you go straight to the bar, and there's a few waiters and the bartenders, and he's like, oh, is so-and-so here, who happened to be the owner of the bar? And immediately everybody's like, oh, whatever. Everybody says that.
You douche.
But I see all of the bartenders and the hosts and the waiters looking at him kind of funny. And I noticed it.
Funny how?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just kind of they're just kind of giving him a look. And that's why I wasn't sure if it was just a New York thing or if it was an Alex thing.
Okay.
So, but he's all cocky because he knows the owner of this place and everybody there loves him. So I'm like, great, let's just sit at the bar. We sit at the bar.
Everybody loves the owner, not Alex.
Well, he thinks they love him. Alex thinks they love him.
Okay, but they're throwing a weird vibe on.
But they're throwing a weird vibe. And I'm like, I notice it right away. We sit down.
By the way, which is awesome when you're out on an app date.
Yes.
It's oh, fuck. What did I get into?
We sit down at the bar, And now it's like so obvious that people are looking at him funny. And I was like, so I looked at him.
So it's really a thing.
Yes. So I asked him, because at this point, remember, I know that there's no way in hell this is going to go anywhere. So I really don't, at this point, don't really care.
So he beat the whole kidnapping conviction?
So yeah, I look at him. I'm like, dude, what is going on in here? He goes, what do you mean? I'm like, everybody's kind of looking at you funny. And he goes, I know, right? He goes, I don't know what's happening, but I feel kind of weird. And I was like, oh, okay. So we get our drinks from the bartender, and the bartender's even kind of throwing a little bit of a stink eye at me as well.
Really?
And
so
I'm like, I don't know what's happening here. So I kind of look around at this point, I'm like, I got to figure this out. I look around, and then it comes to me, and I look at him, and I'm like, any chance you brought a date here like a day or two ago? And he's like, yeah, I brought somebody here on Tuesday or whatever. I'm like, well, that's it. I said,
that's your deal.
They're just feeling uncomfortable because you're bringing a second different person in here and they don't know how to react. Like, they're trying to kind of not make him look bad.
It's a New York Havana version of Mario and John's.
Yeah, for him. Exactly. Exactly.
But in reverse.
But they were feeling uncomfortable because it was like they knew that I was the second date in a week. Oh. They probably don't really love him, but they also know that he probably lives nearby. So they kind of want to cover for him. And there was just some uncomfortable feelings because they felt like they had to cover for him.
Maybe they were having fun with it.
They were very uncomfortable.
Okay.
You could tell. So I looked at the bartender and I said, you know what? I said, I'm sure he brought a date here a couple days ago. It's okay. Like, I'm okay with that.
I'm Danielle.
So he's like, they started laughing, and I was like, well,
oh, good.
No big deal. Yeah. So it totally lightened up the mood.
You diffused the whole thing.
I totally did.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm like giving all goo eyes at the bartender because I'm like, hey, I'm like scribbling my number on the napkin. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. But it did diffuse the situation. So
can you write your number upside down? Were you doing that?
No.
That'd be weird.
I don't know how to do that.
Either do I. I'm just saying, I wonder if it's a thing.
I did do something super bold like that, though.
Really?
I just remembered.
In New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who was it with? Somebody. I'll have to remember.
Super bold as a date?
It's like,
a date super bold? Or like...
No, as in like, here's my phone number. He didn't even ask for it. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm from California. Here's my phone number. That's exactly what it was like.
Nice.
He never called me.
Yeah, clearly didn't.
He didn't.
That's the end of the story. But
yeah. So anyway, this story gets with Alex. It gets better.
Oh.
So we have a drink at Havana. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I'm kind of ready to go. So we walk outside. He sees two people he knows. There's like 6 million people in Manhattan. He happens to just run into two people that he knows on the sidewalk right outside the bar he's taking me. Proceeds to talk to them for like 15 minutes while I'm standing there. Like,
okay.
And so then when he finally he finishes up, lucky me, we just happened to be standing in front of the door to his apartment.
Oh my God!
Building,
what a coincidence!
Which is right next to Havana.
Yeah.
So he goes, well, this is where my apartment is. And I'm looking, it's like this 42-story building or something.
Right.
He's like, do you want to come up for a drink? And I was like, no, I think I'm okay. He goes, really, we had a really great another rooftop bar.
Oh, rooftop bar.
And I looked at him, and I'm not joking when I said this.
That's so super convenient.
I know. I put one hand on either side of his face, on his cheeks. And I said, there's not a chance in hell I'm going to fuck you tonight. Just so you know. And he goes, oh. It's like he's shocked. He's shocked. And so now I'm about 20 yards away from the subway that I need to get on to go. Right. And he's like, okay, well, I guess I'll see you. And I looked at him and I said,
no drink?
Are you even going to, you're not even going to walk me to the corner? He goes, well, no, why would I? And I said, because it's the right thing to do, you dumbass.
Well, yeah.
I mean, come on. Has nobody have any manners anymore?
Well, it's New York, right?
Oh, but he did tell me during the date at one particular point or another, he was like, here's the thing. He goes, men in New York, they go on the app and they swipe right on all of the women. He says there's 3 women to every man dating in New York City.
Okay.
So they just blow through all of them because they know there's another one right behind it. Like, women are at a loss in New York City. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, well, that's charming.
Not really, though.
No,
but I mean, okay. But
he was being douchey.
In the end, the women are still the decision makers. So,
well, on that, you mean in life?
In life.
Well, I want to be a part of that world.
All right, fine. But so Alex
that was
wouldn't
the
even.
Alex.
He didn't flip you. He didn't flip you a token or something.
No.
Take it easy, kid.
I did make him walk me to the corner because at this point I was like trying to prove a point. I'm like, you need some manners, dude. Like, he texted me the next day and he's like, what are you doing on Friday? I was like, you are such a dumbass. Yeah, that was probably the best date I went on.
Oh boy. Good times.
Yeah, it was fun. It was kind of like a sociology project. My visit.
West Coast, you're going to get a cab or something, right?
I mean, here's the truth. I would have never gone out with him on the West Coast.
Oh.
Him in particular.
All right.
I would have swiped left on that right away. I would not have even introduced myself to him.
All right.
So, yeah. So 2 weeks in New York. That was amazing. Then I went up north.
Then, what about Beantown?
Beantown was amazing. Like, I will live there tomorrow.
Yeah, Boston's pretty nice.
I love it. And
I like Boston.
It's 40 minutes away from all of my cousins, my aunts and uncles, like everybody on my mother's side of the family live up there. It's cool city. It really was cool. I went to a Red Sox game.
Oh.
And we had great seats. We were like 4 rows off the first baseline.
Oh, wow. That's legit.
It was super cool. We stayed in a hotel overnight and then I flew out the next morning. So that was really good.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah. Well, I went up to New Hampshire, like that area for a week, but mostly in Manchester, New Hampshire. So the last day.
Okay. Right. So you weren't
the
in
last
town.
2 days I spent in Boston, basically.
And then you came back.
And then I came back to Pleasantville.
Yes.
And I do have an appreciation for where we are here, for sure. But it's very slow.
Yeah, it is slow.
Which I think is actually a good thing. Like, I do say that I would love to live in New York, but that pace, I only had to do it for 2 weeks. That pace would kill me, I think, living there.
Well, the nice thing, it's got to be nice not having a car. God,
that's the best part of it. I didn't drive for 3 weeks.
Having a car.
Oh, it's amazing.
Do they have all the stupid scooters there?
It's just now becoming a thing. I didn't see a lot of them. I didn't actually even see it. Well, nobody wants to ride a bike in New York City because you'll die.
What was the weather like?
It was good. They were all patting me on the back like I brought the good weather from California. I think we had a couple days of rain.
What's good weather, though? 70, 75?
We had high 70s, some low 80s. It's definitely muggy. But they have been having a really, really wet year, kind of like what we had, too. So even right before I got there, it had still been raining and yucky. So, once I got there, the weather was really nice. We had a couple of rainy days, but it was really great. And of course, I had a lot of like internal,
little alone time to think.
Yeah,
huh?
a lot of alone time, which was great. And it wasn't that I was like, I had to work through any problem in particular. It was just that I needed some space from all of the work noise and the kid noise and all of that kind of stuff. So things kind of started settling in. And I revisited some of these ideas that I've had before I started Keller Street when I got really busy, about what, like what I want my life to be, like who I want to be with. And in terms of like, what type of people do I want to work with, or what kind of BS do I not want to deal with? Or, it just became clear again, which was great. And it kind of informed some ideas of things like, and also I felt creative again, which felt really good, since I've been here and I've been head down on operations of this great
sometimes
space.
Builders aren't maintainers either.
Right. And that's what I've had to be as a maintainer.
I mean, after the project's done, you know what I mean? And then you get into kind of the maintenance of the project. Yeah,
that's hard. And it's funny, I like this idea. Like we've talked about this before, right? Where I'm like, what a dream it would be for me to be able to like build a place like I have here, build a team, get the doors open, potentially, move on and do it for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like just hand over the big creative ball of wax and then move on and do it again for somebody else. So that feels really good to me. I will say though that the community here Keller Street I love so much. Just
really?
I really do. I just built a really great group of friends. Part of that might be because, I lived here for so long and I still didn't know a whole lot of people.
Part of that could be you too.
What do you mean? Meaning
that you're a good friend.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, It's
Or you're
emotional
you're a good person
for me.
to be
Like
friends with
I am
because you're
emotionally